All right. Looks like we are back online. We had a bit of an internet outage. So, you probably missed everything from the last attempt at this stream, but we are attempting to complete some quests. We actually did complete Bloodraven on my last session just a bit ago, but unfortunately, I don't know if that actually recorded or not. Nonetheless, we can cross it off the list. All right, she is done. Other than that, not much happened. Went into the stony field, killed some monsters, and that's where we're heading back. We got this mercenary, Devo, gave her this bow I found and this hat I found, and she's in decent shape. I plan to give her a bow with a bunch of poison damage when I get to level 18 and she's level 17. All right. So we're heading to the underground passage, and we're going to go through there to the Dark Wood. I like to grab throwing knives, throwing potions and stuff like that early on. They can be nice early loot, early gold. Another good source of experience from besides bosses is these nests. They tend to be big bags of experience. Nice chunk of experience there. That being said, the area level of this part of the map is not very high, so I won't be getting a huge amount of experience in comparison to what I could be getting. But that's what happens when you play on a higher player setting. Other than the quest, I'm hoping to get a nice axe that I can put some stuff into, some gems or some runes to get a nice damage upgrade. You can make some pretty good stuff that way early in the game. That can... Ooh, a set item. Cool. And another level. Excellent. Putting runes or gems in sockets early in the game can carry you through normal difficulty and into early nightmare. And some rune words can even carry you through nightmare. And then if you're lucky with rune drops and you get higher end runes, that makes some of the best items in the game. All right, we are in the underground passage. Let's kill some monsters. Got to be careful in this area. There are a couple different types of monsters that can be deadly. There are what's called tainted. They shoot lightning orbs at you, and then archers are always scary. They do more damage than you might think, and they can hit you without you even seeing them. So you got to be careful. There's two different types of archers down here, actually. These vile hunters have an archer variant that's down here. And then the skeleton archers, of course. that we just saw. So a trick, this is kind of the first place that you can use this trick. A trick with Diablo 2 maps, you can actually kind of predict where the exit or entrance to an area will be based on the shape of the tiles. So Diablo 2 uses a tile system to build their maps procedurally. As you can see, the map that's coming from the stairs... Oh, better get out of there, that's pretty dangerous. So the map coming from the stairs are over there, and this whole section, ending right about where the town portal is a tile. And that tile points this direction that I'm walking. And if, for the underground passage specifically, the tile to the next area will be facing the opposite direction. Essentially, if I just keep going this direction, it will most likely find the exit. And there's different rules for different maps. And I'll explain each of them as we come to them. Got to buy a bunch of potions, make sure you can stay alive. That is your lifeline. Sell off some items so we have more room. Check out this set item. Of course, it's a shield, and I'm using two-handed axe. Clegglaw's shield. So set items are kind of a special type of drop. They are all part of a larger set of items. So in this case, this is Clegglaw's claw. The other pieces of the set are Clegglaw's pincers and Clegglaw's tooth. If you wear multiple pieces of a set, you'll usually get bonuses for each piece you wear. And then when you wear the complete set, you'll get even better bonuses. On its own, the shield is not amazing, but if I find more pieces of Clegglaw's, it could be good. It is a pretty low-level set, although I'm, early in the game, so that's to be expected. Check out what we got here. Sell off all these throwing potions. Good money. Okay, back to the stash. Throw my money into it. Throw my gems into storage. And I'll hang on to this for now. I have plenty of storage, so no real downside to it. Drop in the chat your favorite Diablo game in the series. There are currently 4 mainline games, Diablo 1, 2, 3, and 4, along with Diablo Immortal for the phone. Android and iPhone as far as I'm aware. That was a very dangerous monster we just killed. As I said before, archers are dangerous. Add on top of that a boss or unique type monster, and you've got a recipe for danger. And this is just a normal difficulty. Not only are they slowing me down, this one slowed me down, but he did a ton of damage. Nothing we couldn't handle, though. You can see these archers are doing quite a bit of damage. And I am extremely slow. Excellent. All right, we made it through without dying. I won't say unscathed. Barbarian's probably a little sore after that, huh? Okay. Crossbows probably won't be using, but might as well check it out. Might be worth something. Notably, crossbows cannot be used by the mercenary, only regular bows. This is the tainted monsters I was telling you about. This one's a variant called the Misshapen. They shoot lightning orbs at you, and they attack you physically. Those lightning orbs can be very dangerous. Although one at a time is not going to be overly dangerous. Packs of them, especially boss packs, can be scary. Many a hero has been slain in the underground passage. I'd say next to Rakinishu, it's the first real challenge of the run. Okay, so I'm going to guess this is the tile that the exit is on. We'll find out here in a minute. Got him. All right. Pick up the throwing potions again. Good stuff. Good money. Okay, so this tile that we are on, this is the exit. I will show you where this tile ends. Back here. I got a stamina potion so we can keep running. So this tile ends right around here on the map. And you can see it's facing this direction, which is the opposite direction of the entrance to this area. In the underground passage, that's how the tile will be oriented to get to the Darkwood. Most maps don't use a straight, that's considered a straight run style. Most of them either go left or right, but that one goes straight. Spike Fiends, these are another monster that can be kind of scary, very similar to archers. Those quills can be deadly, especially starting in Nightmare, when they can get some strong modifiers and they can just end you. Hey, another boss pack of archers. Try to get the boss first. Not too bad. This group was less scary. Alright, let's take stock of our stats. I could probably use some more not stamina, vitality to get some more life points. And I do have a bit of a stat points saved up. I'm going to go ahead and save 20 of them, so I'll put the rest in vitality and build up my life. And then I am level 11, one more level, and I'll hit another tier of skills. I'm going to want leap attack. Concentrate is also going to be, stun is going to be pretty useful. So I'll probably grab stun. Nice little bit of, well, stun. Since I'm going to be getting leap attack at level 12, and I need to point, oh, that's level 18, my bad. So I guess I don't need to put a point in leap yet, after all. Increased stamina is just what it sounds like and not particularly useful. I'll basically want to put a point in that at level 23 so I can get increased speed. The actual good skill helps you run faster. So it looks like the only skill I'm needing to get at level 12 is stun. And it gets a bonus from bash. So, another thing to note about skills, when you hit the level that they require, you can only put 1 point in them. And then every level after that, you can unlock the ability to put another point in them, no matter how many skill points you have. So for level 12 skills, you won't be able to max them until a minimum of level 32. Each skill takes 20 points to max. So since I can't dump points into that when we get there anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pump points into Bash. It'll help me in the short term to get to level 12, and then it'll make stun that much better when I do unlock it. I don't think there's really any reason. Well, I could put some points in this, but I'm getting more bang for my buck damage-wise out of Bash. So I'll go ahead and pump that all the way. That'll be a nice boost to my damage. Alright, this is a Carver encampment. Just like the Fallen, you want to go for the Shaman first, so they don't keep reviving the little guys. Yeah, there's usually 2 in these forested areas. It looks scary, but since they run away every time one dies, it's really not that bad. Just gotta kill them one at a time. Another set item, wow. Another set shield, in fact. That's funny. I get a big two-handed axe. So I guess, since axes come in 2 varieties, they come in one-handed and two-handed varieties, I can probably try to find a one-handed axe and use that. It'll probably be faster anyway. So I'll look for a 3-socketed one. That's the max sockets you can get in normal difficulty. So I can make it nice and powerful once I get the runes and or gems. Boss pack of Spike Fiends. Gotta be careful with these guys. Although this group doesn't seem too bad. Storm Venom. Spectral hit means he deals rotating types of damage. Fire, lightning, cold, and poison. I heard a gem drop. Yep, there it is. That is loot ears trained over many years of playing this game back and forth. I heard Zarfin say on one of his streams, you never really quit Diablo 2, you just take breaks. Kind of the same as one of my other hobbies, Magic the Gathering, rather. Another type of game that you generally don't quit, you just take breaks from. Almost every avid Magic player I've ever talked to has, at one point or another, taken a break from the game. It's a love-hate relationship, really. Fans of Magic love the game and hate the company. Not necessarily Wizards of the Coast, but parent company Hasbro. Some of their practices are questionable, unfortunately. This is the boss guarding the Tree of Inifis. Three-head Woodfist, he's always extra fast. He can be scary, but with Bash being able to knock him back, that helps me control the intensity at which he attacks. All right. Organize my inventory so I can pick it up. Throw some potions in the belt. And then what we want to try to do is find the waypoint so we can get back here once we are done. We have to take this girl back to Bara in town for her to decipher it. And then we take it to the Stony Field. The stone's guarded by Rakanishu. And it takes us... It creates a portal to take us to a new area. Always like to pick up keys. Again, need to be able to open up chests. XP shrine, always nice. Oh, I hit level 12 and I didn't even realize it. Okay, so since I hit level 12, we'll go ahead and put a point in stun. And we'll bind that. Only costs 2 mana, just like Bash. It doesn't increase damage as much as Bash with all these points in it. But it will outscale Bash in the long run. And the stun is very nice. Wait, I'm thinking of a different skill. This one actually does not increase in damage unless you put points in its synergies that give it damage. In this case, Bash. That's where I'm getting the 64% damage from. So it doesn't do as much damage as Bash, but instead of knocking enemies back, it stuns them, and that can be very nice. The stun length does go up during or for each point you put into it. And then if you pump points into Warcry, it also pumps that duration even further. Though hard points are going to be more effective short term.
I can't carry anymore.
Wolf Head is a type of helmet that the Druid uses. It is Druid specific, only Druids can use them. This one doesn't have any, but they can have Druid skill staff mods. Refilling shrine. Always check shrines. There's a chance you can find what's called the gem shrine. If we find one, I'll tell you all about it when we find it. Gem shrines are arguably the most useful shrines. Okay, where's the waypoint? Nice. Waypoint, waypoint, where are you? These little houses that are scattered throughout Act 1 can have super chests in them. So they're always worth checking out. Also, Old Book is the Warlock only, not just Old Book. Lots of different book type class items are class specific for the Warlock. They're a shield slot type item, and they, as this one does, can have points to Warlock skills. So they're worth picking up, checking out. 2 sockets, but no skills. That's not going to sell for very much. In fact, class-specific items take a penalty to their cost. Oh, there's the waypoint. They take a penalty to how much they sell for because they're class-specific. That's down on their value. So unless they have high plus skills, they're usually not worth very much.
Oh, very good.
As you can see by this value. Has +1 to miasma bolt and only sells for 67 gold. Daggers also can have skills for the Warlock, but they're not class specific, so they tend to be worth a little bit more. Wow. 3 resistances. I'll give that to the mercenary. That item. Now this is a better shield by itself than the other one. Plus 10 to strength can be very good. Help you wear stuff you couldn't otherwise wear because of strength requirements. And its set bonuses, if you get the other pieces, are also really good. Damage reduced by 2 is also not bad, especially early on. Monsters only deal low amounts of damage, 10 or less, in Act 1. So that can actually be substantial. This crossbow is nothing to write home about. This bow, we'll check out and see if it does more damage than my mercenaries. Reserved heads are the necromancer class specific item. Can have staff mods to necromancer skills. This one plus 2 to raise skeleton is actually not terrible early on. Looks like the second item I found for a necromancer summoner. Again, my favorite class in the game. I'll hang on to that for now. Boots has the dexterity mine have and some resistances, so definitely worth wearing. Sell that. And those potions. Check out this amulet. 10% faster cast rate. While this character won't need that, it is very good on caster characters. And in any case, I save amulets and rings for crafting later. So I think we're good. Poison res 9. This has cold and fire as well. A little bit less poison, but probably better overall. And I can sell that.
Good day.
Put away my gems. I could probably drop these extra scrolls. That away. Oh, I was going to check that bow out with my mercenary. All right. So she does 6 to 19.
That to good use.
All right, that one's better. So I'll go ahead and give it to her. Still very fast attack speed. It is very fast attack speed. A little bit of fire damage. Takes the cold damage away, but she can do her own cold damage, so that's just fine. Sell that and
What you need?
repair my gear. Look for a 3-socketed one-handed axe. I'll buy this just in case, but I'm going to try and get a one-handed axe for my next upgrade. Unless I get lucky with a really cool rare. Okay. Rod axe. Those can be pretty good. It's an upgrade. They do more base damage. But there's not really a reason to grab it right now. It's not so much of an upgrade it's worth buying. Throw this in here for now. Organize, and now we go save Cain. Now, monsters in Diablo 2 do not respawn in the same game. So once you clear an area, it is cleared. Although, if you save and exit and come back in, that does respawn the monsters. Now, these stones need to be touched in a certain order. You can read this. Although, the tradition for Diablo 2 players is just press all the stones until something happens. You cannot actually make a mistake. It won't let you press the wrong stone. Nice effect. And we get a portal. It takes us to the town from the first game, Tristram.
The land here is dead and lifeless.
Unfortunately, in the wake of the warriors' fall from grace, town was destroyed. Sad state of affairs. For whatever reason, though, Deckard Cain's life was spared. He was locked up instead of being killed. So you're able to save him.
Deckard Cain, you've got to get out of here.
He takes a portal back to town and doesn't even bother leaving it open for you. Champion packs are good for XP, just like unique monster packs. And this is a super unique. There are certain monsters, such as Rakinishu, that always appear in the same place every game. This one is Griswold. Another one that if you played the first game you might be familiar with. He was the blacksmith in the first game. Sadly, he has been turned to a zombie. He's also quite powerful. He always has the effect Cursed. That orange cloud over my head is the curse amplify damage. The same one that the Necromancer uses, and it causes you to take 100% extra damage from physical hits, which is the majority of what you'll be facing, especially early on in the game. So you gotta be careful with him. He hits hard and curses you to hit even harder. So, clear out a bit of the chaff so I can face him mono. Use my shout to give myself some extra defense. And try to take him out. Get rid of this archer real quick. See if I can stun him. He is immune to the stun. Makes sense. Poor Griswold. He was a good man. Pesky archers. Nope, I was able to put him out of his misery. I shattered him. His body, even. Another ethereal type item. Ethereal items cannot be repaired, but have extra stats and weapons cases extra damage. But it is a polearm, not an axe, so I won't be using that. One out. And this one. Alright, another shaman, take him out. Tristram is another area in the game that's good for XP early on. You can grind here for a few levels if you want. By saving and exiting the game and re-entering, all the monsters respawn. And you can just keep killing them over and over. I won't be grinding like that. Don't really need to, but I could. And you could too. Ooh, Vile Maggot, a unique shaman. Got him. Alright. Take out this pesky archer. A rare old book that could be really good for a warlock. But my next milestone will be level 18. And we will be able to get the skill Concentrate, which is the first really decent skill in the combat skills tree for the Barbarian. Hand axe socketed. They can only have up to 2 sockets, and the weapon called Just Axe, not this kind, it is large axe, can have 3 sockets. So I'm going to hold out for that. I can probably just buy one in the shops. Another head with a skill toward summoners. I think the game's trying to tell me something. I have been thinking about using a mod to give the Necromancer a couple of the Warlock skills. For those of you who don't know, the new class, the Warlock, just came out a couple weeks ago. This is the first expansion Diablo 2 has had since, well, for about 25 years. That is unprecedented. And for people who like me, who are fanatics for this game, it was pretty exciting. Warlock is really fun. I did a whole playthrough with it. I currently have a level 86 Warlock that I am going to try and push even further. And I have never actually reached the highest level in the game, 99. It is quite a grind to get there. But I'm thinking now that I'm streaming, I may pick up the challenge and try to get there. Another challenge I might want to take on is Holy Grail, which is collecting all of the unique set and rune word items in the game, along with all the runes. With traditional vanilla, that can be quite a lofty goal, as the runes, especially, are exceedingly rare. Close to, well, not close to, but comparable in difficulty to find that of winning the lottery. Very, very rare items, especially like the very, very top ones. So those alone can make that task of finding all the items difficult. And they're not the only rare items. Some of the unique items in the game can be exceedingly rare, like an armor called Uriel's Might, a staff called Mang Song's Lesson, another very rare one. Vapors Hammer, I think it's called, is another one that's really rare. And usually these are like the last few items people find on their rail. This streamer, Mr. Llama SC, who is probably the most well-known Diablo 2 streamer, has completed multiple grails. His first ever grail, his last item was Mang Song's Lesson, and it eluded him for a long time before he was finally able to find it and complete his grail. Now, since then, he's completed another grail, I believe, in Diablo 2 Resurrected since it came out. So, if he can do it, I can do it. That's what I think. Okay, saved Kane, cleared out the Tristram area. Level 13 now. So, at level 18, that's the next skill tier, I can get Leap Attack. Useful for getting around, and can also be good for kind of stunning enemies. It doesn't actually stun them, but it knocks them all back in an area. And you don't actually have to leap long distances. You can actually just leap in place, sort of, and keep stunning enemies, knocking them back and dealing damage. So it can be an endgame build. But for my purposes, it will mostly just be for getting around. Just a single point will be enough to use it for that. It does not have any kind of range limits and does not need a target. So you can use it as an effective screen-wide leap. Concentrate, another really good skill. Gives you extra damage. Even increases your defense while using the skill. Gives you extra chance to hit and cannot be interrupted. So you cannot be stun locked while you're using concentrate. It is very good that way. This can be an endgame skill, and as an added bonus, it actually receives a synergy boost from Bash, which I've already put several points into. Also, Battle Orders, which is another skill I will be maxing. So it could be a good single target attack for in lieu of Whirlwind, which is more of an area of effect attack. And then Berserk can be my skill used for physical enemies. Another skill I can get to level 18 is Iron Skin, worth putting a point into. This is a skill they call a 1-point wonder. It just passively gives you extra defense. Any items you have that you wear that give you plus to all skills will boost this and give you even more defense just for the low cost of 1 point. Then Battle Cry. This is actually a very good skill. It lowers enemies' damage and defense. Another 1-point wonder, although pumping points into it can be useful. Some people do that for more of a detriment to the enemies. It's very good against act bosses, giving them just a damage and defense cut lasting for a certain amount of time. You can just keep using it over and over every time it runs out and keep them crippled, increasing your survivability by quite a lot. So I'm going to want a point in Battle Cry, a point in Leap Attack, a point in Concentrate, and a point in Iron Skin. So we'll want at least 4 points by the time we get to level 18. We are currently at level 13, so 14, 15, 16, and 17 will be the skill points. So the level 18 and this current level skill point I can put into whatever I want. And I think I'm going to go ahead and pump some into Axe Mastery. I'm going to, for the time being, stick with axes. A little bit extra critical strike chance, more chance to hit, more damage. Nothing to be scoffed at. Okay, let's go check out the shops and Deckard Cain.
As a token of my gratitude, I will identify items for you at no charge. Regrettably.
So, that is a nice little boon you get for saving Deckard Cain. He'll just identify every item in your inventory free of charge if you save him.
Good to see you.
3 to Miasma Bolt. That is a level 1 Warlock skill and is actually pretty strong. So if I ever create a Warlock that is going to use the Miasma skills, I might use that, so I'll hang on to it. Due to Skeleton Mastery, the other head I found, I want to say was better. Let's check it out. Due to Race Skeleton. So, Race Skeleton and Skeleton Mastery go hand in hand, of course. And there is a calculation somewhere online figuring out the optimal points to put into each skill. But considering this also has some resistances, faster hit recovery, increased block rate, faster block rate, this is probably better. So I'll hang on to this and get rid of the other one. Wolf head with no skills could be sold. Probably not going to sell for much. I'll put this away. Another hat. Shout, not particularly great. As a helm, not the skill, but the helm itself. Only one to raise skeleton. This little wand I found earlier. Way, way better. Okay, I can put that away. I'm in Goatman, but only 1 point. The Warlock I created, I made into a pure summoner, focusing on Bind Demon, which is probably the most fun skill there is on him. That's what it sounds like it does. It lets you bind a demon to your will and use him
You have a
as
mission.
your own minion. Fill up on those. She gives you a magic or rare ring for saving Kane. In normal, it's a magic ring. And then in Nightmare and Hell, they are rare rings. And that one that she gave me is not amazing. The charge bolt is fine for a little extra damage, but if you're going to get a skilled chance to cast early on, you probably want Frost Nova because, well, cold it chills enemies, makes them cold, and slows them down. So that's a nice little bit of crowd control. Charge bolt, on the other hand, just does damage. Wirt's leg. So Wirt was a character from the first game. He was the quote-unquote gambler. He would offer you items one at a time that you could buy for a large amount, and you didn't know what they were until you bought them. They could be good, they could be terrible. That was the original gambling. Wirt was a peg-legged boy. He lost his leg because demons gnawed it off. And the only reason he survived was Griswold, the zombie man we killed earlier. Saved him, pulled him out. But he was never quite the same after that, and was a bit of a eccentric. Unfortunately, as we have his leg in our possession, he sadly is gone. Okay, so we cleared Tristram. My goal for this stream is to try and finish off the Countess. That'll be my last goal before signing off. Okay. Back to the Dark Wood. Where the Countess is the next quest. You can actually find a book on a pedestal in the Stony Field. That book on a pedestal is a callback to Diablo 1, where they had several books on pedestals to explain lore. That pedestal will give you the quest to find and kill the Countess. But you don't actually have to find it to be able to do the quest. All you have to do is find her lair, the Forgotten Tower, and go in and do the deed, and you will complete the quest. All right, cool. Another rare cap. So we'll find the waypoint and the tower, and we'll complete the tower. Countess, as you'll soon see, is known for her rune drops. When they introduced runes early on in the first expansion to this game, they added a special rune drop table to her. She's almost guaranteed to drop some runes. Weirdly enough, if you have a higher player setting for extra difficulty and drops and experience, she actually lowers the amount of runes she drops because her other drops are increased in likelihood of dropping, effectively lowering her chance to drop runes. So if you want runes, you should farm her on players 1. Okay, little house. Always worth checking out. Another set shield. I think this is the same one we found earlier. Kind of crazy. 2 of the same shield. Stamina Shrine, nice little useful. So this is the tower. So a nice little trick you can do. Open a portal when you find the tower. And then you can take waypoint back to town when you find it, and the portal will be sitting in town for you to use. Okay. So some of these maps have a river crossing through them. Based on what I found, it is likely that the waypoint is on the other side of the river. So we gotta use the bridge. Okay. We're probably pretty close to finding the waypoint. It's not going to be over here. Not enough map left in that section for there to be a waypoint in that area. So it's probably in this corner over here. There it is. Throwing knives, grab those. Okay. Head back to town.
Greetings.
Hello.
Indeed, it is the same shield. It's funny. 2 of the same shield. Holy cow. Now that is an upgrade. I know it doesn't have the fire resistance or the hit recovery. That +3 to axe mastery, that's 2 whole extra points. That's going to make a big difference in my chance to hit. So My attack rating, 242. Well, it's not massive, but notably it's also white based. So it's not a magical or rare. White items, if you can add sockets to them, and there are several methods to do so, can be used for rune words. So this helmet has +3 to X mastery along with being white, and if I can get the right amount of sockets in it, I can make a rune word in it. So definitely worth keeping at the very least. For now, this one's just fine, but I will definitely keep this one for later. And you know what? I'm going to keep both of those. This is the paladin only type of item. This Targ or Targ. There are several different types, of course, just like the other class-specific items. Okay. Ring, I can put that away. Put these gems away. Let's see, is this helmet any better than what my mercenary has? I'll just hang on to one she has for now.
When I
All right. Whenever you're at Charcy, go ahead and repair your gear. Oh,
What
I need to
can I
check
do
for
for you?
axes with 3 sockets. No such luck. Look at that green shiny axe.
Yes?
All right. So back to the Black Marsh. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Countess.
A stench of poison.
So this is another map that has a layout that is relatively predictable. So let me kill these archers and then I'll explain what I mean. Oh, boss pack of archers. Dangerous, careful. Holy cow, that was a lot of damage. Alright, we're good. We got him. Okay, so as you can see on the map, the entrance area, this little area we're standing in, this is the exit or entrance to the tower, and its tile ends right about here, and it points this way. This is the exit from this tile. From the exit, if you turn left and go straight, you will likely find the stairs in that area. We'll follow this path. And here we are. This is the entrance to the next area. As you can see, it's facing this way, which is left from the entrance area. The tower is known for being a good place for farming for levels early on. It tends to have lots of boss packs, unique packs, and they are worth more experience. So that going left rule applies to every floor of the tower cellar. And yes, I had to turn right to get here, but this tile is still facing left based on the orientation of the entrance, even if you did have to kind of go around a wall to get to it. Get sapphire. Drop on cap. Mace mastery and taunt. 2 sockets. Another one almost exactly the same as the last map. Sort of. These ghost monsters in this difficulty, they're not too bad. But in Nightmare and especially in Hell, they are resistant to physical damage. The Hell version being immune to physical damage. So unless you have a way to break their immunities, which can be done, but you have to have certain specific items or skills. Then you will have to use some other form of damage to kill them. So this one is a perfect example. I came out of the entrance area here, turn left, and there's the exit to the next area. This is level 5, the last level of the area. This map, there are 2 variants of it. It's always one of those 2 variants. It'll either face this direction, or the variant will face this way. But there's the upper left variant. These 2 rooms on either side, they will always have large amounts of gold piles on the ground. So while you're farming the Countess, if you want some extra gold, it's just free money sitting on the ground. This room and the room across from it, over here. There's also several chests, armor and or weapon racks. So pretty good loot in these areas. Another set item. Boy howdy. I love this mod. And this happens to be an item from the new expansion. Take a look at it here in a minute, after we're out of danger. Anybody thirsty? I'm just kidding. Oop, boss back with archers. Gotta be careful. Oh, she wasn't too bad. But you saw other archer packs and that they hit like trucks. Depending on the modifiers that the monsters have, they can be very, very tough. So, this item, new set item from the expansion. Bane's Wraithskin hard leather armor, part of the Bane's garments. It is focused around the Warlock as well. And it has a modifier that is very, very, very rare in this game. Magic resist. So in your character screen, you can see the 4 main resistances listed. Fire, cold, lightning, and poison. Magic is not listed. It is a separate type of damage from these other ones. Not very many monsters deal that damage. Not very many skills on the heroes deal that damage. But the ones that do deal that damage can be kind of scary, and it's nice to have when you need it. So, that's also a pretty cool find. And yeah, we'll go ahead and wear that for now. It's also got some extra defense. It's pretty high on the defense, and this armor is nothing to worry about losing. I just give it to my mercenary and keep benefiting from it. Okay, head in. This is the area that will have the Countess in it. These are her minions. You might be able to see her on the top right there in the room. That is her. Her AI is a little weird. She doesn't like to leave the room. Unless, in some maps, she'll spawn outside her room, and then that is what it is. So there you go. Her drops these orange items on the ground. Orange named items are rooms. Got some gold. This is the Reward for the first time you kill her. Lots of gold. That chest will only ever open the first time you kill her for the quest.
I can't carry anymore.
Other than that, she will not drop. That chest will stay closed. It'll be there, but it won't open. It's not really the main price from the Countess anyway, though. It's the runes people are usually seeking when they farm her. And I'll probably be coming back here a few times in subsequent runs because I'm going to need several runes for later upgrades. These Tal runes are the ones I was talking about earlier. Usually you get a bow for your mercenary, put 3 of these in it, and she's good for the most of normal. You can also get other mercenaries later in the game in subsequent acts, and you can put the runes in their weapons as well. And since I'm a physical fighter, I can put some of these in a weapon for myself and have a nice weapon for the rest of the difficulty. So I'll want at least 6 of those. If I plan to change mercenaries, I'll probably want more. And then there's another set of runes I'll want for other items. And we'll set a goal for those next time we stream for the Barbarian. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today. I will be picking it up some Slay the Spire tomorrow, a card game that I very much have a good time with, and we'll be checking that out tomorrow. So tune in if you want to check that out. Otherwise, thank you for watching.